So in the UK, there has been a series of riots going on lately over immigration in the country, like this anti-immigration campaign, and it stems from some misinformation regarding a man that I believe stabbed a couple women. What caused the unrest? The violence was most immediately triggered by the stabbing of a number of children in Southport, northwest England earlier in the week, a rare and shocking incident that left 3 young girls dead and the country reeling. The far right seized on and spread a wave of misinformation about the incident, including false claims that suspected attacker was an immigrant to mobilize anti-Muslim and anti-immigration protests. Police say that the suspect was born in Britain. But anti-migrant rhetoric has become incredibly widespread in Britain in recent years, with critics saying that trend has emboldened far-right sympathizers and contributed to scenes like those seen over the weekend. And yeah, it's just kind of been going on for the last week or so. And it especially has not been doing great, especially in regards to their prime minister. He seems to be against the rioters, but at the same time, Keir Starmer has also ran on anti-migration rhetoric. Starmer unveils plan to stop illegal migration crisis at source. This is very much kind of like what's going on in the United States, where like Kamala Harris is very much playing into the right-wing leaning on immigration, which it literally does nothing but embolden people on the right to make this an issue when it really isn't. Like, it's just dumb. It's just a dumb way to play into the politics of it. It's literally just by conceding to the right who are wrong in this regard. And because of that, the UK has been filled with riots that are still going on. This has led to people even trying to just incredibly stupid shit. Like, we'll just read this article right here. The UK is faced with the worst disorder it has seen in more than a decade after outbreaks of far-right anti-immigration violence swept the country. Protests first broke out late last month after an anti-immigration misinformation campaign stoked outrage over a stabbing attack that left 3 children dead in Southport, North England. Over the weekend, crowds of far-right agitators set fire to hotels housing asylum seekers in 2 cities, leaving those inside trapped and terrified, while throngs of rioters in other cities damaged public buildings and clashed with police, throwing objects at officers and smashing their windows and smashing their vehicles. Hundreds of people have been arrested so far, and some 6,000 specialist officers have been mobilized, the UK government says, as police prepare for more potential riots on Wednesday. So yeah, it's just incredibly racist people, just incredibly far-right people just going out of their ways to essentially try to kill these people. Like, they literally just want to kill them. And a lot of the rhetoric goes to kind of what, people here in the United States say in regards to, anti-immigrant rhetoric, where they're taking our jobs and shit like that, even though the real issue is that the government is just not doing a good job when it comes to the labor that is going on in the country. But instead of actually seeing that for what it is, they're instead looking to these outside forces who really have no power whatsoever as a source of their problem, despite the fact that, that's not the issue. The issue is that the government as a whole is not great when it is not good at handling the labor, the economy in the country itself, which is leaving a lot of people without jobs. All over the United Kingdom, well, at least in this part of the United Kingdom, in England, it's all over the place. Or at least mostly in the north. So you got a bunch of places down here, and in the south, not so much, but that's also because there's a big difference between, southern England and northern England. Northern England seems to be more lower class, middle class, and that definitely exists in the south too, but it's a little bit more higher class people. And again, it's still happening there too, but you can definitely see it's more focused up here. There have also been counter protests as a result of this, shit just getting out of hand, so it's leading to people.
Newcastle United, black and white and brown.
We will not cower in the face of racism.
Real Geordies are not racist.
Bigotry, violence, extremism, and hate.
That the message of hundreds of anti-racism protesters in the city centre this morning, a city which, notably, has escaped disorder thus far.
Obvious question, but why? What's brought you on the street?
For 5 reasons: diversity, inclusion, equality, freedom, and justice for everybody.
I wanted to come here today with all these hundreds of people to make that clear that the Nazis and the right wing are unwelcome here in Newcastle.
Majority of my community are not here, and it's for one reason.
And local Imam Ali Assad said police advised his community to stay away to reduce tensions.
The plan that we've worked with the local authorities is that our community members will be protecting all places of worship, like even the Hindu temple and the Gurdwaras as well. It's not just the mosque.
From early morning, hundreds of officers drafted in, Northumbria of course, but a large contingent from Gwent, South Wales, as well as neighbouring forces like Durham. Operating the large crowd.
They'd send their women and children and fight for their country back.
How do you know they're
To me, loads of men coming across here are looking for war, they're not looking for peace, are they?
When people accuse you of being a racist, what do you say?
A racist? I'm not a racist.
Why does he have a New York Yankees hat on?
I'm just against what's happening.
I'm a concerned grandparent.
Yeah, and you believe what's happening is that illegal immigrants are stealing your jobs, mostly, you know, people of a darker skin color. So yeah, you're a racist.
About illegal and threatened immigration and the exploitation of our country.
People say, but are you a racist, sir?
Whoa!
That's what people say. People accuse the...
Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa!
No, that's what they accuse, so I want you to answer that. What's your answer?
No, I'm not. I've got plenty of foreign friends, black friends, Asian friends. Look at all the people here.
Yeah.
Are we all what we've been branded as right-wing football hooligans?
But you condemn the violence then?
Of course I do.
No significant disorder from
But you're standing with the people who are doing the violence. Like you're out there with them.
either group, but we witnessed a number of arrests across several hours of protest. Most of those detained were from the small anti-immigrant gathering, including this person arrested, police said, because he was wearing a lifelike mask, and wearing masks under special policing powers is now a crime. At least one anti-racism protester got through the cordon and was led away in handcuffs. A number of shops in the area had boarded up just in case of trouble.
You need to leave by the end. Disperse immediately.
Police ordered both groups to disperse at 3 p.m. and they did. National pincer.
10 days.
Right show of strength seen on the streets of this city. Pierhead at lunchtime today. There were just a handful of opponents with a single Union Jack. Fears of a far-right show of strength seen on the streets of this city a week ago failed to materialise.
Dumbasses.
So the last 10 days.
I guess they try to throw fireworks at the police, but someone just had bad aim.
Have been very, very intense. They've been terrifying for a lot of people.
The Imam addressing the anti-racist rally today has spent the last few days trying to build bridges with some of those who've been demonstrating outside his mosque. Last Friday, he took to social media with a highly unusual message for them.
So just to let you know, anybody who attends the protest tomorrow, we're going to be handing out free cold drinks to you. We're going to be handing out burgers and chips.
And Adam Kelwick was true to his word. After offering food to those who'd come to protect his mosque, crossed the road and did the same to those who'd come to protest.
I remember when I first walked over, it was very tense. The first 2 or 3 people who I saw just completely blanked me, as if I was invisible, looked straight through me. But I didn't let that deter me. I continued smiling, and I went to the next people, and they gave me a firm head shake to say no. And finally, we broke through to somebody's heart, and he accepted the first burger. And from that point, amazing things happened. We gave out food.
There's an image.
Yeah, he's just like a nice guy. Well, that's a pretty warm story. Yeah, this is the hotel attack that I believe they were talking about in the article. Video showed rioters hurling objects at police and smashing the windows of a Holiday of a Holiday Inn Express in Rotherham. Far-right demonstrators have griped parts of the country after 3 girls were killed in a knife attack. We already know that part. But look, literally, they're blocking exits, trying to light things on fire. Like, they're just these insanely violent, just gross people that essentially just want to kill these people. Like, that's what's going on. And it only seems to continue with some light pushback with police presence, but doesn't seem to be ending anytime soon. Again, I think these have only really been growing in scale. I remember there was like a clip of a young boy. During it, the boy was screaming like, Allah, Allah, who the fuck is Allah? Obviously in a way to be, you know, anti-migrant, but it's just like completely disgusting how they're handling this. Okay, so it's not just the kid, it's literally many British people. I think they're saying it wrong. I think they're saying Allah. It's Allah, Allah, who the fuck is Allah? Allah means God. That's who it is. That's what, when Muslim people are saying Allah, they mean God. It just shows that you are just so fucking dumb. You can't understand just the simplest thing. It's just so fucking stupid how these brain dead Brits are talking about this. And again, it's not that different from here. Like how people talk about, it's not that different from how people here talk about like anti-immigration, like with their anti-immigration rhetoric. And honestly, I think it is very dangerous for the Democrats to continue on with this like right-leaning issue with Kamala Harris proudly, I mind you, saying that she is going to, you know, perpetuate the same right-wing policy on immigration that Joe Biden did earlier in the year. Like, just giving Republicans that ground despite no evidence supporting their claims of migrants coming in and being, you know, R-wordists and murderers to the degree that they are saying it happens, it's going to result in shit like this. Like, that's what happens when you perpetuate to those crazy right-wing fingers like Keir Starmer has done in the past. It's just so dumb, and I don't know why they continue to do it. But, you know, politicians have never been smart, so why are we giving them the credit now? Why are we giving them the chance now? So, yeah, that's about it for today.